mind-body connection is very real, and our next guest says, in particular, the gut and the brain work hand in hand. So here to explain how our moods are affected by the foods we're eating is Dr. Kulreet Chaudhary. He's back with us. Doctor, good to see you.
Good to see you again, too.
And we're talking about the gut here, but how your mood is actually linked to gut health as well, right?
Yes, and scientists are now finding this in the study of the microbiome, which are all the organisms that live in our gut. And we're realizing that they actually help to produce some of the neurotransmitters that impact our mood.
So interesting. So what can we do as far as increasing or helping increase our mood as far as our gut is concerned?
Well, I tend to look at the ancient practice of Ayurveda, which is a traditional medical system from India, because they have been saying this for thousands of years. So even though we're just recently learning about this, Ayurveda has been teaching this for millennia. And so what I typically recommend is to start looking at your kitchen pantry as a medicine cabinet for your mind. And so there's one recommendation I give to everybody, and that's making the digestive tea or the prime tea, as I mentioned in my book. And that's using cumin, coriander, and fennel, and just half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of each. Boil that in 4 to 5 cups of water for 5 to 10 minutes, strain out the seeds, put it in a thermos, and just sip it all through the day. It improves your gut health, which will automatically impact your mood.
Such a good tip. Does it matter as far as the quality of spices that you're getting? As far as you were saying, the cumin, you use the seeds then, I'm assuming, in that circumstance.
Yes, you use the seeds when you're making this tea. And I always recommend, the healthier the foods you use, so trying to aim for organic or biodynamically grown foods, it's going to make it more potent medicine, and you're not having to worry about all of the bad stuff getting into something that you're actually using to improve your health.
Are there herbs as well that help with stress and depression and other mood factors?
Absolutely. And so whenever I create a program for people, I always include herbs that help with stress along with herbs that help for the gut. So the herbs for stress that I most commonly use are ashwagandha and brahmi. And these are, again, traditional Ayurvedic herbs that are specifically used for supporting brain and brain health and mood, all of the things that we tend to, associate with brain health, like attention and focus. And then my go-to herb for the gut, which is also something I use for mood disorders, is triphala.
Triphala, is that right? Is that how I say that
yes,
right? Okay.
You got it.
Do you have to use certain herbs, though, combined with other herbs to make them effective?
If you use any one of these, they're going to be effective in and of themselves. But because the gut and the brain is seen as one functional unit, when you use them together, they are exponentially more powerful because you're actually addressing both aspects of this unit that impacts your health in your gut as well as the health in your brain. If you don't look at the gut and the brain as two separate things, it makes more sense why we use herbs to help the brain at the same time that we use herbs to help the gut.
And a lot of people talk about fiber when it comes to the gut. How important is the fiber and the probiotics and the prebiotics? I feel like then you're taking all these different things.
No, you're absolutely right. It's not that they're not important. It's just simply that when you are under chronic stress, even when you are eating a healthy diet, the stress impacts the way in which your gut is able to process that food. And when you have, chronic gut issues, it negatively impacts the mood. So it goes beyond just the fiber question. That's a really kind of basic approach to gut health. And it's not that that's unimportant. I want to make that really clear. It's not that that's unimportant. It's just with the way that we live today, we need much more support than just simply eating, a high fiber diet in order to get the effects you want in the gut as well as the brain.
What are the signs that you have a healthy gut?
The signs are really the absence of disease. You're able to wake up without an alarm. You have normal energy levels during the day. You're not getting frequent colds, and you essentially have the energy to live the life that you want. And as much as that might sound like, a fairy tale, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I can say that most of the time that is really how I live. And it's a result of implementing this knowledge of the brain-gut connection through an Ayurvedic perspective.
You also talk about meditation. Does that play into gut health, or is that just for stress and managing your mood?
Well, again, you can't really separate mood and stress from gut health. They're the same thing. And so meditation, which is something I've been doing for 40 years now, is a key part of my daily routine. And it impacts your brain health, your mood, as well as your gut. As soon as you get that you cannot separate these two systems, that whatever happens to the mind impacts the gut, and whatever happens to the gut impacts the mind, once you get that, the whole system makes sense.
I'm going out shopping for herbs. Doctor, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, we're going to have more information about Dr. Kulreet on our website at katcu.com. Don't go away. We'll be right back.